Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Trading Indicators Explained. Today, we're going to go over the ATR indicator. And again, these are just short little videos where we talk about the indicators within Trade Ideas, which is my scanning and charting software of choice, along with uses for them, things to consider whether or not you want to bring them into your trading arsenal, as well as demystifying them a bit, exposing kind of the math behind them. So today we're going to talk about the average true range indicator, which is one that I actually do follow a little bit of for some reasons we'll talk about in a bit. Mainly put under the math here, it's the average amount of security moves in any given day. So, don't really think about this too much other than what is the range, from the high and the low on every day. So does the stock move $1 a day, $2 a day, $5 a day, what have you there. This is how it will look on your charting with Trade Ideas on the bottom here, and then on the scan to the right of that. It's just kind of, you can see we can produce this number of things on the average true range, and reasons for why you would do that are just right here. So again, you'll see this red line. You can add it to your charts. We'll go into the platform like we do at the end of this and kind of see from there how it actually looks. Let's go into the usage. First one is filtering junk, right? So I put up HUD here. It's essentially just a security that is it's been bought out. And the average true range right now is 3 cents a day. So, it's a quick way to say, listen, I'm not really interested in trading stocks that move, maybe $100 a day, right? Maybe you're someone who wants, you don't want those crazy moves. And it's not to say the stock can't move that amount. This is just the average that it moved. And the same with, I just don't want to look at stocks that move less than 50 cents a day, for example. It's just not enough in it for me to be interesting. So you can use it as a filter within Trade Ideas or whatever platform you decide to use and say, show me stocks with an ATR over X, whatever that is for your trading plan. Another one here is a stop loss, where basically what you can do is you can just grab the number that it outputs. For this one, for example, you're talking $6 to $8 here, and saying, if I want to enter the position and, I want to, for example, hold it for a couple days, well, then I'm going to want, hopefully, 3 or 4 days of movement, right? And so I'm going to hopefully look to make 3 times what its average true range is, right? Which if we use $6, we could say, $18. And then at the same time, you could say, if it moves one of its average true range against me, I want to get out. So you could say, right, $6. So now you've built a 3-to-1 risk reward, and the math is kind of right there already for you. Another one here with the same chart, but I use it as a momentum change. So if you look at the downtrend that we got here from March until later on, right, the big downtrend at the beginning of the chart, you can see as it was trending down, the ATR was also trending down. So we have both price action and ATR decreasing. Some people would use that as a sign for maybe it's running out of steam, right? On an average day, it's moving less and less and less as it gets lower and lower and lower. And a lot of people will look at this and say, okay, well, if the sellers were really energetic and they really wanted to push it, they would be able to push it with, an amount equal to what they did before. Last general uses for it would be divergence, right? And basically just saying, if you're looking at a stock like this one that pushed up, and then the most recent price action minus that little spike at the end, the price is moving up, but the ATR is moving sideways. So again, it shows that maybe the momentum there is starting to wane, and maybe it's time, depending on your strategy, to either get out or look for a reversal. So if we go over here to the chart, you can see what it looks like on a stock here. You can right click and you can edit the indicators as always, and you can go through and you can change the period of it. So by default, it's 14 days look back, but if you wanted to do a little bit less, you could change that. And then you can also change the color here as well to, whatever it is that you want. And then save that. You can see that it's going to react a little bit quicker to price now that I've shortened the time horizon. And then the last thing we'll take a look at here is the average true range on a column, right? So for example, if you didn't want to clutter your chart with it, but you have a column in which you're scanning, you know, I'm going through and I'm scanning for this stock and I'm interested in STA, for example. I can see right here, now this is going to be a little bit different period than what we just put down there, but I can see that roughly, you know, $5 is what it moves on, you know, any given on an average kind of basis. So what I'm going to look at, and, you know, this is probably skewed by a couple of these, you know, big $10, $15 moves that happen here, but it means that if I'm trying to trade this and I'm trying to put a stop that's well under $10, that it, or $5, it may not make sense, and I may need to go and look, right? PAGS, for example, you know, that's an average range of $2. So what I like to use this for is I like to compare my stop loss versus the ATR and say, is it reasonable, right? Am I trying to get into something like PAGS and only risk 50 cents? Well, that's 1/4 of what it would move on average day over day. So, you know, if you're intraday trading, that may make perfect sense. If you're longer term trading, that probably doesn't. Or, you know, you've just given yourself, if your strategy says you can get away with that, you've given yourself a really good risk versus reward opportunity. So that's the average true range indicator. That's it on the chart. Again, links in the description for the description of all of the different indicators we're putting on there, as well as a link to save money on trade ideas. If you want to come by and give this a shot, you can save money on your first month or yearly purchase in the description down below.